she just be dabbling here and there a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know what it is. Legend Lounge Podcast. We back with more knowledge on blockchain, crypto, stocks, and just the financial markets in general. Hey man, we're gonna start off like how we always do, looking at the Bitcoin chart. So let me pull that right on up. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let's start at the monthly actually. So as we can see on the monthly, uh was just started 2 days ago. Started headed down beginning of this month, February. Then we got the weekly showing wick rejections. We went up all the way to 109 like we discussed on the last episode, past 108. Wicked out these wick rejections. So also we broke 100 and we're headed down. So we're at about 96. Let's go to the daily. Also, we broke this trend line on the daily. We have another trend line that's going up, so we have yet to see if it's going to break this trend line. It also broke this daily demand zone right here. So we have another demand zone right at about 95 to 93. But I'm thinking we're going to break this trend line. I'm thinking we're going to break this demand, and I think we're going to go in the range of 85 and 90 in the short term. A week or two, so we're gonna see. And this is just technicals, folks. So we also want to look at the fundamentals as well. But what's y'all take on the reason the market is tanking like this?
Um, One I think is just kind of it started off with that deep seek crap first, and then what old boy mentioning tariffs, it kind of just propelled crypto down because the dollar. Can you pull up the DXY
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do
and let's
that.
see what that's looking like? Cause if that's up, then I definitely know why. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
anytime
that's
that's
crazy.
up,
Yep.
Bitcoin going down.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So
So
if anybody don't know, the DXY is just the dollar index. It just shows you the dollar index. So, like you said, anytime this is up, Bitcoin is going down.
Yeah, so
So,
basically, when he says dollar index, all this really means is like kind of essentially think about it like the strength of the dollar relative to um, other currencies. So when this chart is up, that means that the dollar, for what it's worth, is performing good. So it's the value of the dollar is increasing. And when the DXY chart goes down, that means the value of the dollar is decreasing. So that's basically what this chart is and what it shows you.
right there.
we got a little ways before we see correction. I think once they kind of figure out whatever Canada and Mexico's response gonna be on these tariffs for real, we'll know tomorrow or in this week coming up that we're going into. Um and I'm gonna go with 50-50 on it. It could reverse or it could continue to trend down. Right now because they basically, like I said, institutions and the Fed basically is pulling out liquidity. I know futures contract is coming up for expiration. They normally use Bitcoin as collateral. So I'm gonna say 50-50 because right now for me it just looks like we're consolidating before we hit the as they quote the banana zone where shit just gets crazy and shoots up. And like I said, we round tax time, so people are gonna be selling some stuff to pay their taxes off, and then some people are gonna basically be buying cryptos with their tax money. So it's a 50-50 for me overall.
I mean, yeah, I don't really honestly I don't really know, man. I think it's kind of everything's just in a bit of a weird place right now. Just a lot of moving pieces. All the stuff that Charles mentioned is I think, is basically the cause of everything. I agree with everything he said. I even if Canada and whoever, China, even if they do come back and put tariffs on us, I don't really know how big of an impact it's going to actually have on the value of the dollar. Because that's just one of the tariff is just one of many things. I think that things and changes we're going to see that's going to see the dollar continue to increase in strength over the course of a little bit of time. I think what we're going to end up hopefully seeing happen this cycle would maybe be Bitcoin unattaching itself from the value of the dollar. So, for example, if we see either the US or a lot of other countries start doing digital currency reserves, that's something that could, even if the dollar is still increasing in value, because like everything Trump is doing economically is going to continue to strengthen the dollar, right? Like us drilling, us doing this, us doing that, us getting manufacturing dollars back in American car companies, all of that stuff is going to contribute to the dollar increasing in price. So I don't necessarily think the dollar is going to be dropping really anytime soon, but we could still see the value of Bitcoin rise depending on what sort of policies come into place, depending on what we see happen with other countries and stuff, even with the dollar still increasing. So I think that it's looking towards a future where Bitcoin isn't tethered to the dollar, because that's kind of like I think I want to say that's like the old model of Bitcoin, of like, oh, when USD is tanking, Bitcoin does well. Like I get that, that's cool and all, but I think Bitcoin's matured to this place where it can eventually decouple from the dollar. And I think if we're not there already, we're basically just one big event, one serious run up away from Bitcoin decoupling from the dollar. It still's going to always have parity with the dollar and USD, because we're one of the second biggest like economy and blah blah blah. But for it to just run exactly against the dollar right now, it just doesn't really I don't want to say it doesn't make sense to me, but I think like that time is like going to quickly come to an end, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that come to an end this cycle. So that's kind of just my thoughts on it in general.
Gotcha. I was just pulling up the gold chart there. A lot of people putting money in the gold. Gold is shooting up to all-time highs. I'm thinking a lot of liquidity from Bitcoin may be going into gold as well. As far as sentiment, what the president is doing, this could possibly push us into wars. A lot of times gold goes up because of wars. And I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, but like with the whole planes going down, I was reading something. Someone was saying something about the grid or something like that. So you never know what's going on with that situation. But like I said, I feel like I agree with everything I said, and I think part of the reason why Bitcoin is going down because a lot of money has been put into gold as well. So.
Man, they said we basically on some weird stuff, right? They said that we actually jumped timelines again back to the 1961 timeline, because the planes and stuff that was crashing was the same thing that happened back
Rubbing his
then.
head.
Right? I was like, okay. Yeah, I doing something, bro.
Man, all them quantum computers, man, they
Working overtime. They don't want us with no money. Yeah, they say not this shit again.
Hey, I'm gonna let. Hey, look, man, y'all have y'all fun with y'all conspiracy theories, man.
Man, look, they buying the gold because they need the gold to put into the quantum computers. This is facts, though.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, all right, what whatever. In between that and then the DEI narrative going on. Man, this whole week and last week, man, I did detach myself so much from the market and the news, man, just to catch my breath. And it's like,
Like
all right, y'all,
anything can happen, man.
right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing too
It's
much
crazy.
right now. You know, we got these tariffs and all this other shit. So tomorrow gonna be a damn clusterfuck, bro. Then Jerome, like what he talking about, and now banks can custody Bitcoin. It's like, well, y'all need to do something. Cause
Yeah. Matter of fact,
yeah.
I got an article for that, so let's segue right into that, man. So I'm reading this article. It says banks can serve crypto clients as long as they can manage the risk. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says. So if anybody don't know what the Federal Reserve is, I'll just read it right here. AI overview says the Federal Reserve is the central bank of the United States. Is responsible for creating and managing the country's monetary and financial systems. The Federal Reserve's main goals are to promote economic stability and protect customers and support the financial system. So, if anybody don't know, the Federal Reserve, they control all the money basically. And here on a quick take, it says the central bank is not against innovation, said Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell during a press conference on Wednesday. Crypto firms have complained about difficulty of establishing and maintaining bank accounts in the U.S. So, with that being said, this is gonna, I think, kind of get rid of the friction for banks to start entering into the crypto arena as they already have. Let's see, is there anything else?
But what does that really mean, though? It just says they can serve crypto clients. It doesn't. From that headline, I mean, I haven't read the article. I don't know if you already read it.
I just feel like it's just gonna make it more frictionless for banks. It just goes with the whole narrative of how we was.
Like, I'm asking like, what is it though? Because like I don't know if you read. I haven't read the article.
I haven't really read the article. I'm just kind of going off of the quick takes. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Let's see, is there anything in the article that I can really give you some extensive information? I'm reading some of the stuff. I think overall what it is just is going back to what you were saying kind of about how Trump hasn't really like, as besides the crypto task force, this headline, just going back what I was saying about the Federal Reserve. So we know the Federal Reserve control all the money anyways. So if Jerome Powell is saying that they can manage, as long as they can manage the risk, it's just, I guess my point is this is gonna make it more frictionless for institutions and banks to get into the crypto market.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I pulled it up on my phone and it don't look like this. It don't really look like much of anything, bro. It don't actually look like anything happened. Like I can't actually. It just seemed like a soundbite he said, but it don't seem like he actually changed any actual.
No, I don't think he changed.
Yeah,
I don't think he changed anything.
He just said they can manage, but it doesn't. Just be, yeah. I mean, so I don't. Yeah, I guess
I don't know.
See,
I think he's just throwing a hint of what's to come. Is what I'm really trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess we'll see what's gonna happen.
But nothing is like nothing. Right? Nothing is certain, man.
It's like they came and told everybody the secret, and they just fucked up the church's money, man. Like we supposed to be yacht shopping right about now. I gotta push this back.
Not really.
Sitting here jet ski shopping. I'm a goddamn jet ski on my yacht. Oh man. I hate wintertime when it comes to investing. It's slow. Pump their liquidity. Drop them interest rates so Brandon can get his house.
You heard, bro? On it. Turn me up, man.
And what they talking about the interest rates anyway going for? this base?
I don't know because I was looking at FHA, so I wasn't looking at like a conventional. I wasn't looking
Gotcha.
at a conventional loan, but I think like six ish,
For
seven ish.
FHA?
No.
Oh,
I mean like regular
oh,
conventional
okay, gotcha.
for good credit,
Damn,
six ish, seven ish.
they be trying to hurry up and change them laws quick too. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems honestly, it seems high, but bro, I it's not gonna really ever be too much. It's not gonna really ever be too much lower than that, bro.
I feel you. So you better go walk around that military base and pick up on one of them
Yeah,
drill sergeants, get you a quick VA loan.
you're not lying, boy.
And you ain't
You're
gotta pay
not.
property taxes.
Yeah,
Shit.
they got a couple of they got a couple of one of my buddies. He's doing some real estate stuff with his VA stuff.
Yeah.
He done got a couple of loans like just good dog.
Damn. Put on that charm, rap to him real quick.
Yeah, you a fool, man.
Yeah. So I do want to just share real quick about these tariffs, man. I guess people do watch what I guess so they can kind of drown the noise out. Um, honestly, I believe none of this stuff really matters, but to some people it do. I got confirmation of that today earlier. But basically, the effects that the tariffs could have um, definitely can lead to higher import costs, like agriculture, cars, raw materials. So inflation could rise, which it ain't never came down. And then on the flip side, with investors, basically they're gonna be looking towards Bitcoin and other cryptos to kind of battle that inflation that they're going through. However, we got the U.S. dollar strength and then the crypto appeal of it. So it can tariffs can definitely strengthen the dollar, and if the dollar weakens due to the trade tensions, then Bitcoin and other cryptos can kind of see as attractive alternative, thus the market going up. And right now we're seeing the reverse of that. So the dollar coming up, saying basically being strong, we're now seeing Bitcoin attractiveness come down some. So they kind of go hand in hand right now until, like you said, they're going to decouple pretty soon here. And then also too, just the trade uncertainty in the market, basically volatility, because Mexico and Canada are basically our neighbors, basically. So that can definitely shake some stuff up, and it's like crypto can benefit from it. As the can basically the Canadian dollar and the Mexican peso has dropped significantly. So they might not want to invest in the dollar. They might go invest in yen or something. But to do that, they got to go get with BRICS, and they ain't trying to do that. So they might look into Bitcoin as an alternative. But it's all speculations. And then as far as like the supply chain disruptions and mining costs, I mean, it can affect the mining equipment, but no one's really mining Bitcoin of that because it costs too much now. You can still do it; it's possible, but you're not going to be making a lot of profit like you would maybe 5 to 6 years ago. And then for cross-border crypto transactions, stricter policies. Um, they try to throw sanctions away, well, not away, but throw sanctions at people all the time using Swift. But when you got Ripple on the back end helping the other countries, then that kind of opens up the window of opportunity for other cryptos to kind of get in place to avoid us throwing our weight around with sanctions. And then also, too, I seen a video a couple days ago where Gary Gensler was basically telling whoever over the crypto policies and stuff for the United States, hey, we can't keep using Swift because it's outdated. We need to get on board or we're going to lose a lot of competition to the BRICS nation. Companies can decide, all right, well, we don't want to fool with the dollar. We're going to go over here and trade in yen or trade in rubles or whatever else. Or I think rubies for India. So those things there's just to take into mind. But if you're not really into all of that, just dollar cost average. Just drown out the noise. At the end of the day, we all gonna be using crypto. So just if you do pay attention to the news, just use it as as aids to help you find more of a solid entry point. Because nobody can predict the market. We can draw charts up all night long or whatever. But if somebody go press the button and say we're gonna do this here, it's gonna get done. It's all basically um, connected in a sense on somebody's server somewhere hooked up to a computer, man. Like it's all math numbers and computer equations at the end of the day. We just in it for the service level stuff, which is to get money so we can buy a yacht and retire our family. Or if you're selfish, retire yourself. That's all you're worried about. But if you want to go down the rabbit hole, you can do all that. Just know at the end of the day, everybody gonna be on crypto. Drown out the noise. Don't get yourself caught up in the politics behind it, and just do your due diligence, man. But that's about it. All I had to say about the tariffs and stuff.
Yeah, nah, I'm definitely with you on just about all that stuff. I think to kind of like add to like I guess the tariff stuff. I think the thing with that is, man, it's gonna be like yeah, the sort of price of everything is gonna go up. So this is just from what I know on tariffs. Once again, this isn't something like I'm no economist. I haven't really researched any of this, so I could be wrong. But what I think the effect of just from all the stuff I've seen and consumed, um, like as I would understand, even though the price of those goods would increase, the difference is going to be that difference in money is not just going directly to companies, but that goes to like the government, right? Like, isn't that how those tariffs work? So even if we do see the increase in prices, those are like fees and stuff that the company has to pay. That is going to go to the government. So, like, the biggest difference is going to be like, because if we're being real here, like, I mean, it's like we were and price was going to get inflated anyways, like I mean the way everything was going, so it's like hey, at least this is money that is going to strengthen our position, strengthen the dollar versus just money that's like going to versus just other countries being able to pocket this money essentially. So like and once again, like, all right, just to preface, I'm not an economist. Everything I just said could be very wrong because I don't really know, right? Like I don't really know too much about that subject. Um, so it's definitely something I need to look into. But that's as I understand it right now. Um, and then like in terms of BRICS, um, I still think we have like a little bit of time before we really have like an issue with BRICS. You know what I'm saying? Like I just it's still a little time. Like we still need to see another country really prop themselves up from a financial standpoint globally before BRICS could be a legitimate issue, right? Like I mean, even it's so crazy to think about like how China has such a great economy, but when you actually look at like you know what I'm saying, businesses, financial industries, like there's no big businesses that China has that even comes close to competing with the large businesses in America. None of their financial markets come close to even competing with any of the stuff the US has to offer either. So until all those companies can, the only way BRICS would ever be a legitimate threat is if all those countries came together and created one financial market together to maybe rival the US. But besides that, they're just not even close, bro. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you think about global companies, literally the first like three or four companies that you think of globally are US, just the biggest social media platforms. I mean, you got TikTok. Well, you got TikTok now, but if you just scroll 2 years back, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
Right.
Microsoft, like, I mean, Apple, like, right? Like, we're listing off a lot of top companies that are global companies that are based in the US. And like if I'm like, hey, list off five global companies that are in China, you can't do it like that, right? Like
Right.
it's not off the cuff like that. So until one of those countries in BRICS actually has global influence, with their business, then like everything they're doing is cool, and it's like, hey, like you're setting the stage for, you know what I'm saying? They're setting the stage for something, but they don't really have that big thing yet to really like threaten the U.S. It's coming. It's coming.
What
But
do you
it's
think? What do you think if they back their currencies, the BRICS back their currencies by gold and silver and other metals like that? What effect do you think that they have on the dollar?
well, do there? I don't think any of those countries have enough gold reserves to do that. Because the U.S. doesn't even have enough gold reserves to back our dollar by gold anymore. So I don't think any country at this point has enough gold reserves to tether their currency to gold. I think where we're at with what paper currency is worth, you can't. There's too much paper currency floating around
No, not
to
the
stick
paper
to.
currency like that. Digital currency. If they come out with digital currencies backed by
Well,
gold.
you wouldn't need to tether a digital currency to gold because you could just make a stable coin. So there would be no the whole point of tethering something to gold is to keep the price steady, right? Because when you have a equal value of gold, the value of gold is just stable. It doesn't go up,
So what
shouldn't go
about a
down.
BRICS stable coin?
Okay, so cool. BRICS makes a stable coin, and then the U.S. makes a stable coin. So once again, it's the same thing, bro. Like, why would somebody? All I'm saying is like, all I'm saying is, why would somebody use the BRICS? So all of them maybe will use the BRICS stable coin, and like that could be something that could. So taking it back to the thing I said that could threaten the U.S. would be if they all came together and created a one financial system that they all used, right? Like that's what I said could threaten the U.S. An example of that would be if they created a stable coin and they all used the stable coin. That's an example of that, right? Like that. But that's the only way that they can create that they can actually threaten the U.S. right now. Other than them all collectively coming together and using the same thing, that would be an issue. And do I think that can happen right now? No, bro. Like those countries need to have some big players, like I just mentioned, either in business or the financial sector. Because if you just gotta really think about how much of an impact if you really got into like because like right like I don't think war is gonna be like, oh, we're sending people off, like we're going to like kill people, blah blah blah, like bro, like I think it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be like,
A
it might be
cyber
more based on
warfare type
Yeah, yeah.
reset.
cyber
Drones,
war,
Yeah.
EMP
control of
blasts,
entertainment, control
hacking.
of well, yeah, not even control of entertainment, control of what you have access to, don't have access to. Like those are all things that like could kind of come into play. Because think about it, bro. There hasn't been a real war since I don't want to say that, but like the last war, no social media platforms were like really truly established and global, like hugely global like they are now. Like we were kids when we had the last war, and it was against. And we went to war against Afghanistan, bro. We didn't go to war against the place that actually used social media,
Right.
Really,
right?
so basically what you're saying is like the war is through media mind control in a sense.
I mean, well, that's
Because
it's
you have deep fakes, you have all these different things when it comes to these different platforms in different countries. So it's kind of
yeah,
like that's
it
how I
could
kind of
be.
look at it a little bit too. Well, part of it, part of the whole thing.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, who really knows? I mean, I don't think honestly, I don't really think we're gonna ever like see like a. I mean, we whatever. Maybe we'll see like another traditional war or whatever, or where a country declares war on another country. But honestly, like that's kind of like it's a little outdated, bro. Like I mean, when I say outdated, it's just like like what are you gonna do, bro? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna fight? And what are you fighting over? Like a lot of those things that countries used to fight over is not there. So like something
You know,
significant would have to change for a war to happen.
you
So
know, with the
basically,
war, I feel like the next war is gonna be like in space.
that's what I was literally just
It's
about to say that,
crazy,
bro.
bro.
That's I was just about to
Yeah,
say if basically if if something gets discovered on the moon some new resource or mineral or something
Or we
that
actually
you can
go there.
that you can, bro. Don't even listen. You trying to sidetrack me with your rubbish right now, bro, and I'm not here for it, bro. You. But yeah, that's something that could really that's something that could cause a war, bro. But besides that, honestly, nothing else. Like we're like countries aren't taking land anymore. Countries aren't expanding. Like that's not a thing, bro. Like it just doesn't really happen, right? So like something huge like that would have to change to like really start a war, I think.
Nah, yeah.
Trying to build in the metaverse. Like,
I think like with nah for real, bro. All these satellites, man. It's really it's a space war going on too. Like it really like they trying to keep it low key, but like that's going on, man. So it could be a number of things. Space definitely one of them.
well, I've been practicing my pilots, and I ain't gonna hold y'all like for
Hey
real. I've been
man,
playing this video game, and it
oh
got
my
you
goodness.
flying spaceships, man. Trying to tell you, look, I'm preparing. Give me a yacht. I'm gonna have me a spaceship
Check
to
this
the
out.
moon, baby.
The Space Force, 9,000 active guardians, 200 space launches, 6 Space Force bases. That's crazy.
Yeah, Space
Ain't
Force
gonna sign up.
it's been around for a minute now.
Right, I ain't gonna sign up for it, but spaceship get in my backyard. I'm definitely gonna take that bitch for a joyride.
Nah, man, we stepping into a different era for real.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Start hearing them trumpets soon.
Mm-mm. I want to hear that. It's over with then.
I got to see this.
Ain't no coming back.
Man, just imagine if you wake up, trumpets going on, you see a damn dragon outside your window.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm going back to sleep. I don't want to be unplugged.
Ain't nothing help you then.
Oh man. But yeah, I definitely agree. Things are changing up, man. Like it's gonna do a rapid force. Cause right now I feel like even though the year just started, it's going slow. Like it's going slow a little bit, but I think it's gonna start ramping up because spring came a little early. So I think by summertime, man, it's gonna be so much stuff that happened that we're gonna look back on these episodes and be like, damn, if we only knew then what we know now. But all this political pillow talk, man, it's just a distraction, bro. Cause they gotta switch this stuff over. The old way of doing stuff ain't working no more, and a lot of millennials, Gen Zs, and Gen Alphas they on that fuck around and find out time. And they'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna go over here to Fortnite and I'm gonna spend my money over here for this space over here. I ain't worried about getting no house for real. Or they getting money from just playing these esports. So the traditional way of getting bread is not the same no more. That's why I understand the big uproar in TikTok, because a lot of people make their bread and butter off TikTok. So once you cut that off in the United States, you killed a lot of jobs that quick in a 24-hour time frame. That them people was going to download Chinese apps, and you realize if we shut this down, we gonna lose most of our GDP to China because the viewership is gonna be moving over there. So that's like, nah, we ain't gonna have it. It's a dog and pony show, man. Like, but I'm no, economics. Just, I just like money. You know. Yeah.
Yep.
Design my spaceship. I'm talking about it. Speaking into existence.
I need an eVTOL if I get a spaceship. Hey man,
They got them now. They just won't let us access them.
yeah, I need that access, man.
Yeah, when something faster come out, then it's like, okay, you guys can have the scraps now. Had it for about 300 years now. There you go. Unless somebody was really, really high when they designed the Jetsons cartoon. So, no. Yeah. Oh, if Brandon, I was gonna ask you for like a little quick 2 minute review over the you trying out the LP process. You know, you don't have to kind of go into depth, but how it kind of opened your eyes to some possibilities so far.
Yeah, no, yeah. So basically well, not even last weekend. I think it's been 2 weekends now. Was it last weekend we set it up? You remember? I don't remember either.
No,
We'll just say last weekend. I think.
Yeah.
So basically, last weekend I got in. Charles helped me get set up in a liquidity pool, which we've kind of gone over. I don't know, maybe it was episode 3 or 4, where Charles kind of gave you guys a quick rundown of what a liquidity pool is, and how to get set up in that. And he has his own link to like showing you how to get into a liquidity pool that we could probably put in the description of the video in case you want to check that out. But basically, just to give you a quick breakdown, what a liquidity pool is for whatever platform you're on. So I'm on Base. You pick a couple of tokens. We picked virtuals and wrapped ETH, and you provide liquidity for virtuals. So you provide a pool of the token to allow people that are on Coinbase to trade in and out of that token. So that's what a liquidity pool is. Because you're supplying some of that token to allow people to trade it, buy and sell, they give you some of the trading fees for that. So, you know, it's definitely been a process of like where, depending on what coin you pick, right? You have to make sure you pick a good coin, because that's going to necessarily determine what happens with the initial money that you've invested into that LP. But the opportunity to make money passively is definitely there in the liquidity pools if you can find good parity and a solid project with something that you're holding. So it's definitely something that personally I'm going to be looking more into myself, looking to find other platforms to maybe do LPs on as well. So yeah, I mean, overall, it's been a learning experience. The currency that I mentioned, virtuals, unfortunately, it was just a weird time for virtuals. They ended up moving over to Solana off base. So like the virtuals price has honestly gone down a lot. I mean, probably this week, bro. How much is it going? What's it going down? Like 50-60% this week, bro?
Shit.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah.
It's going down. It's going down a lot. But even when I got in, it was already going to the downside. But in terms of how many tokens I've mined during my time, I've mined about 75 Arrow tokens, Arrow is the crypto that hosts the liquidity pools for Base. So yeah, no, it's definitely something where, you know, like I said, you know, Charles will drop the link to like his liquidity pool video in the description of this episode that we dropped, just so y'all can actually see a more like thorough, fleshed out video of it. But my experience is, if you are looking for a way to make some passive income, liquidity pool is definitely something to take some time to learn about in crypto, and you can make some passive money in a liquidity pool. I mean, especially if you can find a liquidity pool of a token that you already own, that you can find good parity with another token. That's the main thing. If you can find a token you own that has strong parity with another token, which Charles talks about what parity is in his video, then you'll be in like a really good spot. So I'm personally gonna look for some liquidity pools for Telcoin and for VeChain. Those are two liquidity pools that I'm looking for. That way I can try to put some of the investments that I already have to use.
Right on, brother.
Put me on the spot, bro.
Gotcha.
What you...
Gotcha. But I just wanted the people to know, you know what I'm saying? And you're always our voice of reasoning on the show. So, you know what I'm saying? You finally converted over. So that gives me hope. I ain't get you. You in it. You in it. You in it. If you in it, so if I can get you in the LPs, I know you right around the corner from that XRP train, brother.
Only a matter of time.
No, that was definitely but I'm always man. Even if I don't, I'm always man. I'm always down to learn something when somebody show me something new, bro. Like that's always something I'm down to do. Like if I see something, like I knew about LPs, so when I like heard that you was in LPs, I was like, okay. I was like, I need to see what's up, bro. Like I need to actually put some time into this, talk with Charles, and try to get some money in LPs just to see if this will work for me. Because that's definitely me. I'll hear an idea somebody has, and then like I just try to do it myself. Like that's how I work, and that's how I tried to do it. But I just couldn't figure out how to do my LP myself. Like I tried to set it up, but the pools that I was working in, I just couldn't get them to work. So he just kind of had to like walk me through getting it set up. And we did get it set up, and like we said, bro, it's definitely something that you guys can look into. You can make some passive fees on your money, but I don't know about that XRP, brother. Yeah.
Very hopeful. So, say what it said.
I mean, hey, you never know, man. With the way these prices looking, dog. Shit. I might be able to pick up some soon, brother. Like it's
Blood
might be able to.
Need to go back to 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah.
And then basically, guys, like so liquidity pools, it's a bigger part of what's called DeFi. Right? Like, so DeFi just stands for decentralized finance. So DeFi is a really big part of crypto as a whole, because all of crypto is about decentralization. So that's what the blockchain is about. The blockchain is about decentralization. The ledger is about decentralization, and DeFinance is about decentralization. So if people are like wondering like, oh, like what's the big deal about crypto, right? Like we haven't really ever talked about DeFi and why DeFi is a big deal and what the effects of DeFi can actually be. But like, if you're kind of looking at like the services that banks provide to people right now and how banks actually make their money, DeFi is the hands down biggest threat to how banks make their money. Because literally DeFi is how banks they make their money. It's the same thing. It's literally no different. So it's essentially
right.
It's essentially just taking the power that the banks have and what they're doing with your money in the background and allowing you to leverage your assets to reap the rewards of people trading and making those transactions with the money that you have versus letting the bank do it. Because if you guys don't know, the bank, when you put money into your bank account, that's now the bank's asset. You do not own that money that is in the bank account. The bank owns that money. So the bank can take your money and use that money to trade, invest, or do whatever with that money they please. Get returns on that money, and then whatever, put the money back. It's how that's supposed to go. So with DeFi, decentralized finance, what that is like what we just explained about liquidity pools. The assets that you own, you can use those assets, leverage those assets to make money when people use that money. So it's almost as if like you're loaning that same way you're loaning your money out to the bank, but with DeFi you're loaning your money out to, in this instance, Coinbase and Arrow. I'm loaning my bank account out to them. They're using it to supply liquidity to people that buy and sell, and I'm making money. And the percentage difference between what you get in DeFi versus what the bank gives you is astronomical, night and day. Like it doesn't even compare. So the reason why they can do that is because they take a fee. So when you're using DeFi, the cryptocurrency that is bridging Coinbase to the user that's buying and selling, which in this case is Arrow, they charge a fee every time you do a transaction. So every time I have to rebalance my liquidity pool, which just means every time I have to select the range of which I want to earn my interest, they deduct a small fee. So when millions of users are rebalancing, they deduct fees. They get those fees back, but the fees are smaller, and they just charge you a fee instead of taking your money, where the banks don't charge you a fee, but they just take all the money. So yeah, it's definitely DeFi is definitely, I want to say, like the future. Like we're still pretty far out from DeFi being a mainstream thing. That's going to be like one of the last things that the American economy is going to let be prevalent or whatever. But DeFi is definitely a pretty big and amazing like technological advancement that's came from crypto and the blockchain.
Yeah,
Beyond the
definitely.
bank. It comes with risk, but trust me, those rewards are worth it. Brandon here is rolling in the dough.
Listen, dog, we not about to sit here and exaggerate, bro. That coin tanked, brother. We are not winning right now, but we gonna eventually end up winning. That's the key here. The key here is we done learned a way to make some pretty good money, even if we ain't make it right now. We done learned a good way to make some money, without really having to necessarily do something. So
Facts. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just kind of piggyback off what you were saying about DeFi, like going back to the whole Jerome Powell thing, how he was saying it's gonna make it kind of more frictionless for banks to invest in crypto, but that's more like on the decentralized side. I mean, on the centralized side, and like he was saying, he was talking about centralized. That's why a lot of these, like the SEC, that's why they was going after a lot of these exchanges because they don't want this kind of thing to happen. And as you see that, you're gonna see a lot of more different decentralized finance exchanges or companies. You're gonna see them fall just because um, they're gonna be going after if they don't align with whatever countries, whatever blockchain that they're using. So we're gonna see a lot more of that. I think then a lot more regulation. Like you said, I think like you said, it's far off for the U.S. because they won't control. But we'll see how much control they're gonna actually be able to get. So I don't think uh I don't
There's
think
a lot
Trump
going
is.
on, but it ain't a lot going on. You know, you
Yeah.
know. You know, people, you know. Is there anything else you guys want to tell the viewers?
let me try to put something up real quick. This article.
We had a big ass week on the 4 hour.
What you
What
looking
is
at?
it?
X up here on the 4 hour for Coinbase. I'm trading with.
Yeah. Grabbing liquidity. That's all. Just grabbing a little liquidity.
Shit need to keep going down. 50 cents, please.
Shit, if it get that low,
If it go to 50 cent,
buying something, bro. I buy
If
some.
it go to 50 cents, it's gonna skyrocket. That's where really
You know
where
what I'm saying?
he was just consolidating the whole time.
Let me see how much a drop that is from there.
From the top.
Now, no, just from where is it now to 50 cents.
Like 77%.
Yep. Shit, I ain't gonna do that much. I ain't gonna let that happen. Another 40. Put them around 130-ish. Okay.
Okay, cool. So, so this is something that happened. Like, it's been a while, a couple of weeks since I saw this news. But basically, so this is something that had been around for a while with one state. Let's see here on my computer. But there's 12 states now that have passed. There's 12 states now that have passed legislation or put forth some legislation to have a digital currency reserve or a Bitcoin reserve. So like if we see that number continue to grow, there's going to eventually be one state that passes legislation for a digital reserve. Right? Like, so that's kind of all I just wanted to show this. And, you know, it lists a couple of the states right here: Florida, Alabama, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, Wyoming, Massachusetts, Utah, and Arizona. So honestly, right, like, if I had to be, I stopped sharing my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think that if I'm looking at those states right there, the first state that's probably going to get something pushed through is going to probably be Texas. Right? Like that's Texas just kind of is always innovating when it comes to these sort of financial things. So if Texas does push forth something like that, we're going to quickly see other states start to do that as well. And if other states start to do it as well, that's where like it'll be much easier for a federal one to pop up. Like that's what I think would push the ball to get a federal digital currency reserve to pop up. So that's just a piece of news that I thought was really interesting. That I just wanted to make some people aware of, and we're hoping that that kind of falls through, because that would be huge for us.
Yeah. Hey people, the market is dipping. We about to get some major discounts here. So you know the old saying, buy the dips, sell the tips. No diddy. Yes, indeed.
Oh.
Oh man.
I have to put a disclaimer on this episode.
Don't even put that in there.
It builds character.
Nah.
Don't put that in there.
I'm gonna
No
try.
lawyers coming after me.
Man, ain't no defamation of
But nah,
character.
yeah.
All them documentaries on Tubi and HBO, trust you me. They ain't worried about us. That bitch gonna be in free fall. At least until late tonight.
Yeah, we going crazy drop.
Man.
So we didn't hit 95. Once we break 93, we're gonna hit 90. Let's see. No panic. This is normal. Just let it happen.
Right. Oh yeah, that's just a 13% drop. We got a whole shit more to go.
That 30 is right around 76.5. I just don't think it's gonna go that low, man. But
Go to what number?
76.5.
You talking about Bitcoin?
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped. I mean, like, if you look at, it's just how. I mean, that's just how it moves. Like really, even on the last run up, Bitcoin had it dropped 30%. It ran up, got high, dropped 30%, went up some more. So I wouldn't be surprised if it did drop some more.
It even hit 67, honestly.
I don't really have price predictions on what it would drop to or whatever, but I mean, like you do at some point, you know what I'm saying? Like it does have to catch a breather, bro. Like to regain some momentum. So I think like that would be like, if you're looking at the Bitcoin chart, that would probably be like what you would consider, even though don't feel like it in the moment right now, but that would probably be like a healthy correction. Just to be honest, I don't think it would be anything too super crazy. Like I'm looking at the month, like I'm looking at the month right now, bro. Like that's for it to drop down there wouldn't really be too crazy. It definitely would bounce back up.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the monthly right now, bro. I literally wouldn't be surprised, bro. This monthly candlestick that's filling out is gonna go at least to 90,000, because it's gonna fill where the last month wicked at. I think bare minimum it's gonna get there. So who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? I think at the end of the day, basically, you just really kind of you just have to decouple yourself, like, for everybody who has been like watching and following us and maybe has invested some money since the first episode. This is basically going to be like a learning lesson, especially if you just started investing. Like the feeling that you probably are feeling right now is the feeling that you want to ignore, because like for a seasoned investor, they don't care. Like it just doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, why? Because like whether the market's green, whether the market's red, they're doing the exact same thing of how much money is basically getting invested. The only difference is going to be when it's now red, they're saying, "Oh, hey, like let me buy some more." They're not worried about what's happening with the money they have invested. That is the last thing they're thinking about. They're not thinking, "Oh, well, like it's going to drop." No, they're thinking like, "How can I get money to buy more?" Like, right? Like that's the actual thought. How can I get money to buy more? So basically, you just want to make sure that the way you're thinking, you don't. Even though I know it's like, when you're first getting started off, you don't have a lot of money. You got a little bit of money, and maybe you put your little bit of money in there. So to see that little bit of money drop is real easy to lose that faith or belief in what you might have first got started in. But what you just have to realize is, once again, right, like this is a long-term game. Continue to only invest money that you can afford to lose. This might be the first time where you've seen that money start to lose. But what you have to realize is, from an investing perspective, this gives you the opportunity to grow your position in that asset at a lower cost. So if you bought in at XRP at $3, if you bought 2 shares of XRP at $3 and you buy 2 more shares of XRP at $2, you have to realize your average cost of ownership of XRP has now dropped from $3 to $2.50. So that's how you want to think about this, is in these times, how much XRP can I own to get the cost of ownership of this asset as low as possible, right? Like that's what you're trying to do, because as long as you pick the right investments, as long as you're investing in good things with utility, unless a freak accident or event occurs, it's gonna go back up. And when it goes back up, if you did what you were supposed to do in these times where everybody else is panicking and feeling the same emotions you're feeling now, then that's where you're gonna be up 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, right? So it's just being able to manage these emotions that you're feeling now, know what to do with them, which is basically don't panic, like we mentioned earlier. Look for ways to maybe grow your position. If you can sacrifice an extra latte, an extra fast food meal to put an extra $5, $10 into what you have, now would be the time to do it. Not when the price is shooting up, when everybody's talking about it and everybody's like, oh, let me buy this. No, no, no. This is the time where you actually should be saying, like, oh, well, like, let me drop this off, let me drop this off, let me get an extra 30, 40, $50 a week to go buy something. Right, so like that's probably the main thing I want y'all just to kind of like keep in mind if you guys have been tuning in and like you guys did start like investing when you started watching.
Facts. It's like we were just explaining like these different price points that we feel like that Bitcoin may drop to. They're not for sure. But as far as Brandon was saying, as far as the market coming down and giving discounts, these could be possible entries for you in other assets. You know, if you know how to draw up charts, right? These could be possible entries for you with your dollar cost averaging. So take that into account.
And I also definitely see it's going lower. I even see Ethereum at least hitting about 2300, and then if it goes even lower, probably the 2100 to 2000 range.
Crazy.
Like, I don't know what
Tanking, bro.
Skedaddle. Although I am seeing a bull flag on the weekly on Bitcoin. Now we could break out of it, but I am seeing that.
Bro, Ethereum's chart on the weekly looks disgusting.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Yeah. Hilarious, boy. That's crazy, man.
I know we at least gonna
Ethereum.
hit this 200 EMA, bro. I know we're gonna at least hit that 200 EMA, and that's right around about 2200 and some change range.
On the weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
Ethereum might be bagged up, boy.
Gas fees $400.
What you mean it's gonna cost me $100 to send $10?
Hey,
What?
bro. Hey, that's
What you
a
talking
whole
about?
nother segment, man.
Nah, for real.
Nah, we were looking at, bro, how much were the gas fees when we were looking at the liquidity? Nah. That joint was like $30. So nah, JJ, we were messing with we were on the LP, and there was a Telcoin one that I found, and Charles kind of showed me how to do boom boom boom. So I go to do it, and I'm looking, and it's on the ETH network. I go to do it, and I'm looking at the fees, and I'm like, bro, this said $30, just
Right.
$30, and it was only $30 off 300. So they wanted 10, bro. They was taking 10% to do a
10%, yeah,
transaction
them
off the
fees,
network.
they-
I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
worse. That's worse than banks, bro.
They got Vitalik running this shit. That man, a whole AI. Yeah, ain't you trying? It's crazy.
I tell
work.
that man, I say, hey, don't do no LPs on ETH, bro. I said the gas fees gonna eat in your profit. Brand's like, nah, man, it's just chump change.
Gotta see.
after the first LP approval, and then you gotta push it through Sickle. He's like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I ran out of ETH.
Oh, you need load more ETH. Like, bro.
Right.
Messing with that, bro.
Trying to tell you. Yeah, man, I might not even pay attention to the market this week, bro.
Bro, honestly, bro, like bro, honestly, I don't even be. Just don't matter, bro.
I told you they say buy the dip and it dip some more. Crazy work. You be like, yeah, I got it. Just fall through. Hey man, it's all right, good man. You know, bought what you bought. You gonna bounce back up.
Wait, nah.
We gonna look toward the future.
Yo, that's crazy. Another trip. No way, dude. My bad, bro. I'm looking at I just seen another NBA trade go through. I'm tripping. I just seen
Hitting the
De'Aaron Fox with the
parlays.
Spurs.
That's my cue. Exit chat. Being
I ain't talking about no parlays, boy. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't done any. I basically really haven't done any. Well, I blew my. So like I had my one account on that I had been using since like last year, and I ran up a good little money last year, bro. This year, nah, blew it. I ain't putting no more money back in sports better, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's crazy though. NBA been booming. Yeah, I don't got anything else though, bro.
Well, I'll just say, man, on the stock side, since you was talking about parlays, one stock that I am in that I think I talked about on episode 2 or 3 is DraftKings. For all you people that like sports betting and losing a whole bunch of money, the money is gonna be going into companies like DraftKings because that's exactly where y'all betting on these apps, DraftKings, Prize Picks, what other apps? Because I don't even really do the whole sports betting thing. But as far as DraftKings is concerned, let's see something. In the past year, DraftKings is up about what's going on here? About 19%. So, I think that'll be a good play when it comes to stocks. It's not financial advice, but I think people are gonna keep on getting their money sucked into these parlays and all this different stuff. So, hey man, go check DraftKings out. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's all I got. You was mentioning that. I thought I'd throw that out there.
Yes, sir. That could definitely be a good little move.
All right, you gonna take us out?
Guide me over. I graze you over.
Hey, keep that in, bro.
Y'all talk up, bro.
I'm gonna clip it and throw it on IG, boy.
Right.
This dude funny.